It's very important to choose a place, to choose a bar, a lounge bar, a location, call it as you want, not a restaurant, okay? Do not make dates on restaurants, okay? If you're new here, my name is Luca and I'm one of the world's leading experts about approaching girls in the daytime. Since 2018, I've helped over 1,200 men sleeping with new girls approached in the daytime. I started teaching it only in Italy in 2018 and then also internationally from 2022. For example, the location. Let's talk about the location, because it's very important to choose the right location when you're going on a date with a girl, okay? It doesn't matter if it's from the game, night game, online game, your social circle, doesn't matter, okay? You cannot just leave to the destiny where you will go. And that's why people, they never get laid, because they don't choose the right location, okay? You can be even very, very skilled. You can be I don't know, just very skilled, but if you're not if you don't choose the right location, even if you're very skilled, you can only kiss the girl. And actually many times even if you're skilled, you will not even kiss the girl if you don't choose the right location. For example, one of the requirements, and now I'm not checking, actually I didn't check the audio. Let me check 1 second. For example, okay, the audio is working. Okay, one of the requirements for a good location is, for example, that you have to be able to sit next to each other, okay? Because if you're not sitting next to the girl, you will not be able to touch her, okay? And this is one of the main principles that you have to keep in mind when you're on a date with a girl: physical escalation, okay? If you're not touching the girl, you cannot kiss the girl, and if you're not kissing the girl, you will not have sex, okay? So that's why it's very important to choose a place, to choose a bar, a lounge bar, a location, call it as you want, not a restaurant, okay? Do not make dates on restaurants, okay? Because usually you will always sit in front of each other, okay? So, and if you're sitting in front of each other, you cannot make the physical escalation, okay? You can maybe be very, very good with verbal escalation. You can be very good at flirting with the girl, even if you're sitting in front of each other, perfect. But if you're not also making the physical escalation, you will not have sex wireless. You cannot kiss her wireless, okay? So you have to touch her. So that's why you have to choose places where you can sit next to each other, where there are couches, or where there are, for example, tables where there are 4 spots available where you can sit. And maybe you're starting sitting in front of each other, but there has to be the space for, at a certain moment, make the girl move to your side, okay? Or you to move to the girl's side. Very, very important. Now I'm not reading questions, but if you have questions, type it in the chat box. Hi everybody. No, there are not many people because still the channel is not very big, but if you want to ask questions, you can type it in the chat box and I will read later. So another requirement for a good location is that the location that you choose, you don't have to choose only one location, okay? Because many times it actually depends. It's according to your skills and according also to how open-minded is the girl, okay? But sometimes, or many times, it depends. You will have to do more than one location, okay? And if you're prepared only with one place, one bar, you will not succeed on a date. So you have to be prepared also, for example, with a second location that will move towards your sex location, okay? Not in the opposite direction, okay? If, for example, your house is 5 miles away from the center of your city, and you are having the date in the center of your city, the second location has to be, for example, at I don't know, 2 miles away from your house. Okay, so you have to move when you're changing location. You have to move towards your place. Okay, it depends. What is your sex location? If your sex location is your car, you have to move towards your car. If the sex location is the girl's house, is the girl's place, you have to move towards her place. And so you have to ask her where she lives, in which area, and you have to lead. Okay, but now this is not the topic. You have to be able to make a proper invitation, but here we are talking about the requirements for the location. So move towards the sex location. Also, other good requirements for a good location is that the location doesn't have to be very loud, okay? If the place has very loud music, if for example there are lounge bar, cocktail bar, call it as you want, that, for example, at 9 p.m. it's perfect. There is no loud music, but maybe at 10:30, 11 p.m. they will start putting very loud music. Or, for example, there are places. Of course, it depends. You have to explore your city. You have to explore the different places that you have in your city. Otherwise, you will never be prepared. And there are some places that, for example, they have just normal music during the week, and then on Friday and Saturday night they put very loud music. okay? So, and you have to know these things, because maybe you will go there on Friday night, on Saturday night, and you will encounter on this problem, because you will not be able to communicate with the girl, okay? So, and also not to quiet places. So do not have a date on the library, do not have a date on at the cinema, okay? So you have to make the communication easier, okay? So if the place is too loud or too quiet, it's not good, okay? So with a normal level of how to say, I don't know, not loud and not too quiet. Also, another requirement is that the location has to have a good level of privacy. Okay, there are many places that are putting many tables next to each other. Okay, and so if you will talk with your girl, and for example, you want to go on more spicy topics, you want to talk about her past relationships, you want to talk about some sexual topics. You cannot do it because she will feel judged, because and maybe you will also feel judged because you have people sitting next to you. You have tables next to you. Okay, so do not choose places that are very crowded, that with tables always next to each other. Okay, so choose a place that has the right amount of privacy. Let me drink 1 second. So I'm not reading questions now, but if you want to ask me something, type it in the chat box and I will read it later. So another requirement for a date, this is not for the location, but this is like a good general rule for a date: do not walk around casually, okay? Because if you're walking around casually, you will not be able to keep eye contact. It will be much more difficult to also to make the physical escalation. Also, if outside is very cold or if it's very hot, this will ruin the attraction, okay? And people they don't understand how important these things are. Oh, why I cannot walk on a date with a girl? You can walk, but walk in a strategic way, okay? Walk towards the next location, walk to go to the first location.